Welcome back to another episode of Divine Data. I am Samantha Rose Paprin, and today I am sat with Kara Mosher. She is an artist, an author, and a musician. I am so excited to have you here, sister. How are you today?
I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me on. I am having a very good day now that I'm talking to you. It's definitely been the brightest point of my day.
I know, I love speaking with you. I love connecting with you. Kara, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about your book, Here Comes Trouble. So, if you want to explain about the book that's coming out to be announced in this spring.
So it's called Here Comes Trouble. Trouble in a good way. And what it's about is about a lot of things, mostly my awakening, but it's a memoir about my misdiagnosis of bipolar for almost a decade. And then when I got off pills, I healed myself without pills. And I talk about that. And it's about other things like my awakening that happened, where I recognize we live in a matrix, everything's an illusion. It talks about sacred medicine and the quantum awakenings that happen through ayahuasca and psychedelics, and connecting with ETs and psychic abilities and magic.
Yes, I
Spring
love
2021. Finish
so
the book,
good.
Kara.
You've got this. You're doing it.
Oh,
It's
it's
happening.
done. It's done. Yeah, I tap into the acoustics when I write it. I just channel it. So.
Yeah, flows right through you. I love that. So when exactly did this book come through or begin to come through for you?
I love that question. I actually write about this in the book. When I was about 26, 27, 28, about there, I was on a mushroom trip, and spirit had started talking to me like on mushroom trips, like literally, like I could hear the voice of spirit. And it said to me, "You're going to write your memoir." And I was like, "What? About what? I'm 25 years old. What the fuck? I'm some privileged white girl from America. What the fuck do I have to write about?" And then I was diagnosed bipolar shortly after, and unsuccessfully treated, suicide ideation, anger outbursts off the fucking charts for almost a decade, maxed out in pills, to find out I had borderline personality, and then healed myself without pills. Anyways, I just got off topic there. But anyways, I'm like, that was a lot, I was like, oh my God, that's something to write about. So that for a while I was writing this memoir for people who are bipolar. And then it became for people who are misdiagnosed. And then I had a quantum awakening after doing ayahuasca, and like woke up and didn't know that mind control was real, and that like basically everything was an illusion. And I needed to share that as well. So yeah, when I was 25, short answer, long answer, what I just gave.
I love that. Actually, honestly, my books came through to me on a mushroom trip a few years ago as well, on a mountain in Guatemala. And
I've been to Guatemala too. I love
yeah,
that. We have so many things in common, and mushroom trip as well. I love that. Yes, spirit talks to you too.
and I always like to put a little disclaimer that I totally support plant medicines, but I also support like proper education around it and making sure that we're doing it safely and all of that. But that being said, I am an advocate of it if it is a medicine that works for you, because the proof is in the pudding. Both you and I have experienced trips. That's actually also how this podcast came to be as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's cool. I love that, and I love to hear the timeline in which it comes into manifestation, because I think that can put some ease to some people listening or viewing this right now, um, to realize, these things are going to happen. They're coming into fruition, and it may not happen like just because it comes through a few years ago doesn't mean it's going to happen in that moment. you
Right.
you are creating it. This, like, there is something to be said about divine timing. Everything is happening like as it's meant to be, and I love the conversation that Kara and I were having before we press record, because you were really giving me some great advice through the experiences that you've had yourself, and your own like channel being able to flow for me and offer me that advice was really like such a beautiful reminder of how all of these things are coming into fruition. Like, I as well had these mushroom trips that brought me to these books, and I'm going to be publishing a book this year too. You did that, the same thing. It's like it's so exciting to hear that we're on this very similar path.
Yes, we are vibrating so similarly. I like to say you vibrated your way into my life via the algorithm. And yeah, like totally. And then I learned that you had done some sacred medicine as well. And I want to say I agree that like the sacred medicine definitely should always be looked into and not taken lightly. It's sacred. And wrote a long beautiful chapter about my ayahuasca ceremony, which was done with shamans and with tons of intention. And so yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there too. But yeah, you and I are definitely riding the same wave right now. I think with this ascension that's coming through with the age of Aquarius starting and coming into this new dawning, it's going to soon be the golden age, the new golden age. That there's a wave to ride, and it's available for anyone. It's a vibration of love, peace, non-judgment, compassion, and just an expansion of love. So, girl, you're vibing with love, and so am I. And here we are talking about it.
And here we are talking about it. Yeah, I love that. I really am excited to read your book. I mean, because I'm so excited. Every time we talk, you like let me into this like new layer of you. And one of my favorite things is how I somehow manage to make it on Instagram almost every time you're playing music live. So I'd love to hear like a little bit about what channels that through for
Oh
you.
yeah, I'd love that. Well, that's actually ties into both my book and music. So I realized that I chose not to feel for the longest time. I literally was just emotionally numb. But I've always played the piano since I was like 6, 7 years old. I took lessons, and but besides that, played. And I would, even though I wasn't feeling, I was transmuting my feelings through music. I go up to a piano and you just play, and it's a vibration. You know what I mean? Literally, it's an energy. Like it's a letting go. It's an alchemization. And I come up to the piano, and what I do now, especially, like I grew to be able to do this, I think, at this point, is I just make up music as I go, and I just play how I'm feeling, or I tap into the vibration of the world. How's the world feeling? What sound does the world need to hear right now? And this actually, it reminds me of my ayahuasca ceremony, because it was really then I started really waking up. And part of that was seeing what I was able to do, what I was good at. And before my ayahuasca ceremony, there was a piano, and I started playing, and I turn around after a little while, and all the like 30 people that were doing the ceremony with me were behind me just listening, and I just felt so seen. I could feel the feeling right now, and like the tears kind of well up, and just them all listening to me play. And I started crying. It was so beautiful. And the shaman came out because he had been taking a nap before our ceremony, and he said, I heard you playing music, and I thought it was a recording. He's like, I knew it was healing music when I heard it. And he came out to see me doing it, and he just reminded me, and that's all we need to do, is be reminded of our skills, that I play healing music because I transmute my emotions into sound.
Absolutely. Like I love hearing that because I think we all have different medicine to offer to the planet and we channel it through in different ways, like some may have it through their voice, some may have it through their voice and writing, some may have it through their voice, writing and painting, like we offer it in so many different ways. And I love hearing when people tap into that and can activate that within themselves. I think that's what we're here to do. We're here to heal ourselves, to help heal humanity as a whole. So what you're doing is really incredible, sharing such a vibrant story because you are such a vibrant person. You really
I
are.
had to do that. I had to do that.
um, you're so cute.
You just juggle.
Yeah.
Like,
For anyone who's listening, she's juggling, dancing around. It's great. It's great. It's what we're meant to be doing. It's going back to that like childlike joy of freedom of expression. It's that willingness to be seen and to see yourself and then to like offer that and how you got there to the world. So like through your music and through this book, you're really like offering the planet some serious medicine. So I'm so
Oh,
appreciative.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you for seeing that, and thank you for bringing that up because I believe what you're saying, that we all have different gifts and ways to bring our light codes, our gifts, our activations, whatever it is. We all come into this world with these gifts to share. That's why we all are one, and that's why we all really do need each other.
Mhm.
And so I love that, thinking that how I am sharing, and you too with your podcast and the book that you're writing, and you're going to do another a series too, and you act and you create all this content all the time. Like you're a host, you're a voice, you're a Renaissance woman, so you're sharing your codes too. Thank you.
Thank you, babe. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing though. We're vibrating towards each other and we're going to be creating, we are creating together. You know, we've done some work on your page. We're doing this right now.
Yeah.
Like there's just more to come and manifest that we even like are able to see right now. I think that a lot of people are coming together in these new communities, these newfound communities, especially through the
Yeah.
internet, which has like been demonized for so long. But we found a way to like use these algorithms for the highest and greatest good of all involved and for ourselves and our own healing. I like to say like healing out loud is what I'm doing. And it seems to be what you're doing as well. Um,
Yes.
so how long has it been since that diagnosis of bipolar?
I was diagnosed, or misdiagnosed rather,
Miss
on
that.
my Sat.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. I have to change it up because sometimes, I mean, it's
It is
been
a
almost a
misdiagnosis.
decade
Yeah.
believing it. But so when I was 29, my Saturn returns. Yeah, 29, I think. February of whatever year that was. You remember being checked into the psych ward and being diagnosed bipolar in 10 seconds, girl. When they found out that I was misdiagnosed, and five psychiatrists misdiagnosed me as bipolar over 8 years. I was a good patient. I went to lots of doctors. I went to all my visits, took all my pills, finally maxed out where you just can't take any. You're like, you can only have so much pills, and I was going to say poisons, toxins, pills, whatever you want to call them, in your body, especially these types like valperic acids, it kill you. So like I wasn't getting any better. My anger outbursts and my suicide ideation, my depression was not getting any better, though the pills were going up. So I mean, it was divine intervention when I got sent to a mood clinic that run through UT that was literally for bipolar patients to get you on the lowest amount of medicine possible. Because that's just a thing. It's always changing. It's just, let's get you on the lowest amount you need to feel good. And they wouldn't accept me in the program. After 5 hours of interviews, they told me I didn't have the mania needed for the diagnosis of bipolar. It was like the world, I just was like, almost too much for me to, I wrote about this in my book. It was like too much almost for me to process. So I was like, 30,000 pills swallowed unnecessary, labeling myself as broken for almost a decade, falling and becoming this behavior. When you're bipolar, there's no fucking cure, girl. That's what they say. You're that forever. So you feel broken forever. It's a dangerous thing to label yourself.
Wow, thank you for sharing that, like, the energy behind that, I feel for you, and I feel for
Mm,
you in, like, so many different ways. I can relate to you in some ways. I know people who've been misdiagnosed with other things, and it's crazy that that can go past like, look past for a decade, a
yeah.
decade of your life where, like, you could have and 30,000 pills, is that a real number?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, it's rounded, but very, very close. Yeah.
Mm, fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, girl, and I did the math. Like, it's, if I didn't have insurance, it's probably about $500,000 I unnecessarily given to the pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, so that's when I discovered big pharma really was a business. And then I started feeling weird after my misdiagnosis because I gave them so much money unnecessarily with no refund. So, that was just like me tiptoeing into realizing that there were things going on in this world that weren't for our benefit, like, I don't know, it was a skills based therapy called dialectical behavioral therapy that healed me, that helped me. It's one third mindfulness, one third emotional regulation, and one third interpersonal effectiveness skills. No pills. Let me explain something real quick for the listeners. Bipolar is a mood disorder. It's treated with pills because they say you have a chemical imbalance in your brain. Borderline personality disorder is classified as a personality disorder, and it's treated with a skills-based therapy and no pills. But they share all the same criteria for diagnosis. It's so similar. I mean, basically the same. And so I got off the pills after 8 months titrating with my psychiatrist. I did an outpatient, intensive outpatient program for borderline personality disorder, the dialectical behavioral therapy in 2 months. I did a whole, it's just condensed it and did it hardcore, learned it all, how to breathe, how to process my emotions, how to talk to other people, get my needs met, and understand my high sensitivity. It's just who I am, accepting that. And then, like, I did the course again for a full year, like a group weekly. And then I did ayahuasca, and I literally came back on the week after ayahuasca, and I was like, "Well, I did ayahuasca, and I just don't think I need this anymore. I feel healed." And my counselors were awesome. One was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, we've heard so much about that and the quantum healing, and yeah, wild, right?" But I feel better than I ever have in my whole life, and I don't. I get weary taking a fucking Tylenol now.
Yeah, it's whew, what a year to be
Mm.
discussing this as well. And that's basically as far as I'll go with that in this conversation. Um, it is so interesting to see when the veil is lifted. I remember that happened for me when I was 16 years old. I was going through sort of a depressive state, drinking way too much, was not happy. And I asked my father to send me away. And I went to a hospital in New Canaan, Connecticut. People can put two and two together. Most people know where it is if they know about places around there. But regardless, I went there, I checked it out. They wanted me to stay like 3 months. I didn't even want to stay a month after I'd been there about 2.5 weeks because I realized that everyone there were guinea pigs, myself included. And I met so many vibrant people that were so dulled down because they were on tranquilizers and all of these crazy pills, and these women, these women, the doctors there were like, when you go home you're gonna have to take this like for the rest of your life, essentially. And I was just like, I don't want to. I remember like writhing in my bed crying because I was just like, I can't be here, this place is crazy. Like, not because anyone here is crazy, people here need, like, they definitely need healing and help, but this isn't the way. And maybe it is for some people, and I don't want to take that away for the people that it has worked for, but it is scary to see how over prescribed our planet is with
Mm.
pharmaceuticals, because I do know that there is a place for Western medicine. I do know that. I have witnessed it work with my own eyes, but I also have witnessed myself being a guinea pig, what sounds like yourself just being kind of like
Oh,
a,
yeah. No, I mean, I was on Depakote, a mood stabilizer that was very new, is what they put me on in the psych ward, and I just took it because I was miserable. I would've swallowed anything to feel better or whatever, and, my boyfriend was asking me about it lately, like, he was like, "Didn't you have to sign some kind of special paperwork when you did Depakote?" Because I got it for free. It was like 4,000 a month otherwise for this fucking before. That's why this is like $500,000,000. Like, these pills aren't cheap, some of them. And, so I did this. I was part of a study. I signed into it to get free fucking pills I didn't need. So I hear you, girl. And I want to comment on something else that you said that's coming to mind, that when you're talking about when you're at the hospital or in your treatment, that there are all these vibrant people being dulled down. You said that, and I just felt the clairsentience feeling of just such like sadness, because I know what you're talking about. I was one of them. I was one of them. Like, I lost myself. I was to re-meet Kara. Like, once I got unthawed from these pills, and I saw all of the people in the groups, and I've been in so many groups and so many programs. They're the most colorful, amazing, loving individuals. It's like they wrangled us up, all the highly sensitive, magical unicorns, and drugged us or something, telling us that we were too much for this world. We didn't fit in. And that was always our magic and our gift.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I hate that I keep saying that word even because of just like the connotation it has
Oh,
to
oh,
it.
girl, let's laugh with crazy, because now that I know what the real crazy is, that definition has changed. I've been called crazy my whole life, and the definition has changed all along the way. And now I'm just like, it's a fluid word that can mean anything.
Oh yeah, no, I always say it's crazy because I always stop myself when I say it's crazy because none of this shit's crazy, but it seems crazy, but like our lives are really what is truth. Like having been that sensitive when I was 16 years old, like knowing that these people who were literally zombies in there were these vibrant ass souls, like this is who we are. This is the truth. You know, who I see today, who I know today has always been there. You were, and it's so beautiful to hear you call it our superpowers, because I believe that as well. And I believe that there's a different way. There are different ways of healing than just sort of numbing and
Yes.
people off.
Yeah, numbing is the last thing we're supposed to do. Our feelings are really just indicators to get us like through life moment to moment. Like the 90-second emotional response, it literally takes 90 seconds for your brain to react to a stimulus that lets it put out the chemicals to make you feel a certain way, and to have that chemical like drain through your body and be gone 90 seconds. You should feel an emotion. Anything beyond that, you're perpetuating.
Mhm.
Like we were and so like think about like everybody shoveling these emotions and never feeling them. That 90 seconds, woo, you're freezing it for decades. That's how I'm going to say it. That's why people are getting so ill. I believe I did it to myself too. Like I made myself sick by never feeling. And all you do an ayahuasca ceremony, you learn all about stuck emotions.
Oh yeah.
I feel like yeah, like anybody, it's just like yeah, it's just we're to feel, and feeling is healing, and feelings are indicators, and they're not to be afraid of. We don't even need to be afraid of fear. Fear is a lack of knowledge. We don't need to be afraid of anxiety. Anxiety is our friend to remind us to do something, and she's not wanting to stay more than 90 seconds. It's just we have her move in, and then we complain about it.
It's a choice. It's a choice. One of my favorite sayings that I think I've created, but maybe I didn't, um, is, you know, you have to wake up in the morning and be tired of your own bullshit at some point.
Yes, girl. Yes, I love
And work
that.
through it. Work through it. Like I got compassion endlessly for you, but the only reason why I ever get frustrated when I hear someone tell me the same story over and over again is because I've done
Mm,
that shit. I've been there and I had to make a choice, and that person has to make a choice too. Like you get to swim in the woe is me narrative for as long as you want to swim in it. But
right.
you shouldn't stay swimming in that stagnant water.
No, and it's when people like do that, they tell you what's going on, what's going wrong, and then you want to offer advice and they won't accept it. It's an energy dump. I just learned about this and I think I said this the other night too. Like, it makes so much sense to me. They just want to dump their energy on you and then they feel so much better after talking to you, but they don't want your advice. It's so frustrating, right?
Yep. I
Anyway.
feel that. I feel
Yeah.
that it's
And if you've been through it before, and they're telling you and you're like, I've been through this, I know, like, I want to help you.
you're like, I want to help you. I have advice for you. And they're just like, nope, I just got it all out there. I'm done.
Yeah.
Kind of left with it. Just like,
Exactly.
okay, I'll just be here. And none of what I have to say is important. You're right. Thank you. um, it's I don't know why I'm speechless right now, but I am, and I don't usually catch
No,
myself.
it's an ascension symptom, actually, girl. There's so many ascension symptoms going on, like where you'll have a thought just be stolen from you. And I'm telling you, it's because the timelines are constantly shifting. There's weird stuff going on. We're all feeling weird eating patterns. We're having weird aches and pains. Our bodies are being upgraded. The solar flashes are coming in. The Schumann resonance has been high. The astrology is off the charts. Like we're all going through this new vibration, going into the 5D and still transmuting the negativity that's off balance on this earth. We're getting the divine feminine back up where she needs to be. She needs some healing.
Oh yeah, sister. It's definitely it's definitely the rise of the divine feminine. It's definitely this huge shifting of timelines. There's a lot going on. Planetary wise has been a lot going on, and there's still more to come. We're still
Mm.
in the thick of it, and in such a beautiful way too. I don't even mean it in any negative way whatsoever, because with all the destruction that's being seen, there's so much creation happening at the same
I
time.
love that and the same sentence because have always said breakdowns. Well, my boyfriend always said this. I can't steal it from him. He'd say breakdowns lead to breakthroughs. And you
Mhm.
have to think about you have to break things down so that you can build a brand new thing. Like you can't have the old thing. There's just like anything that's not working for you, even if it's a relationship. You got to get out of it. Let it go, because then you create space for the new one. A job you hate, get fucking rid of it so you can create space for the new one. And we only have so much space.
Mm-hmm.
It's a choice what we want to fill it with. And it's also a message to the universe. Universe gives us what we want if we ask for it. I mean, most of us aren't believing in ourselves or thinking very highly of ourselves. That's what I really used to not think highly of myself. Like, I was fucking so mean to myself in my head. Of course, I perpetually was miserable. Like, it's when we grab control of our consciousness and we steer ourselves on a positive direct, like yacht in a positive direction for ourselves to our paradise. That's when we get there. You know? I just keep going off on these tangents. I hope they make sense.
No, they make absolute sense. You're such a grounding force for me at the moment, just because like I've been in this weird flux of energy, and it is all of those things. It's all of that which you're speaking of. It just feels comforting to be in the space.
Good.
Also know that like when we take our naps, there's other people doing the work, and
Yes.
that's
Yes. The
like,
astro traveling. I want to bring this up. I feel like really called to be bringing all this ascension stuff up, because I really feel like all of the sensitives and the empathic people, and I know that your listeners are that way because they're drawn to you, and you definitely are. The stuff is going on right now. Like, we're astro traveling at night in our dreams. We're doing, like, this world is quantum. There's multi dimensions going on, more than that meets the eye here in this one. And so, like, you haven't been sleeping great. Well, give yourself some time to rest during the day. Honor the fact that you're doing some astro work, whatever that is, but you are at night. And like, your body's being upgraded. Things are changing in ways we don't even know, but it's happening. It's real, and I'm positive because ascension happened to me. I literally had a quantum awakening. I was a different person a few months ago, like, literally, like, and the expansion of love and happiness and non-judgment and just like inner peace that I feel now in my life is just proof you can go from being completely miserable like I was, and you can wake up and you can learn to make yourself happy, and you can learn that you're the one who makes your dreams come true, and you can feel the peace you've always wanted. You can have that. I know this is for everyone because it's happened to me. I feel like so excited saying this. Like, I've just this person that woke up from like being asleep,
mhm.
literally. And it just like, I'm like, okay, it kind of sucks that things aren't what I wanted it to be when I woke up. This world is a little crazy right now. There's that crazy word again. This, like, I'm not really, it's wonderful having awakening, right? You get your consciousness back, but girl, it's a wild world we're living in now, and we're transmuting energies and we're astro traveling, and it's about being kind to ourselves right now, honoring the flow, and just loving ourselves and giving ourselves what we need. That is so powerful when we each do that, because if each one of us is giving ourselves what we need, loving ourselves, then think about the world has all these people doing that at once. We only really need to care for ourselves. If we all just do that, the whole world lights up.
Absolutely. I love that. We're healing ourselves to heal the world. We heal ourselves to
Yeah.
help humanity, and it's all perfect as it is, and it always, and we're here to remind each other of that too, because I think that while you're going through these different awakenings, you can still fall asleep and wake up and fall asleep and wake up, and you have these experiences, you
Hmm.
have these people in your life that are there like your earth angels, essentially, to be like, hey sister, it's okay.
Yeah.
You got them. So you're doing that for me. Like, I'm literally sitting here in dream world, just like watching you, just like, yes, like motivation speaker. And then, oh wait, this is a podcast. I'm supposed to speak. Like, I'm not just watching this on YouTube. I'm filming this right now. But
You're the bridge, you're the facilitator, you bring things together, you're a connector, you're doing so
that's
much.
my divine data came through. I was like, I didn't understand it. I had literally 88 first and last names come through in the first iteration of what this was. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? And then it came with like a sentence, and the sentence was like the description of the show, which is like, oh gosh, authentic leaders inspiring change by speaking and embodying their highest truths. I was like, okay, so what's this about? And they're like, divine data. And I was like, okay, is that the name of my podcast? Like,
It's a great name.
yeah, it's
It's
great.
such a good
And it
name.
makes a lot of sense, because once I started to pull the people through, once I got to 88 people like written down and started booking them, I was like, you know what? And I'm going to expand it to as many as it goes to,
Yes.
they were the starting point to tell me who I knew and who I could connect with, who I could call, who I could be on these calls with. And it's been this crazy, amazing, and crazy again. I said it, a beautiful web of data, of people, data points here on this planet who are, creating the new Earth,
Yes. Yes,
creating
we are.
the Earth.
Yes.
And
We're
I
anchoring it in.
anchoring it in, anchoring their light, our light into this planet in the way that we're meant to be doing it by self-actualizing. And
Mhm.
I think I know that that's what we're all meant to be doing here on the planet and with our human lives, and that's what we're experiencing. And it's not that you're meant to just do it right away, and some people here on the planet are not going to do it in this lifetime, and that's okay too.
Right,
Like
right.
that's the work, is like the self-healing, like we're talking about
Mhm.
self-healing.
Being authentic too. We've been talking a lot about authenticity and like being authentic, doing the self healing and bringing, because when we're authentic, that's when we really bring those light codes in, or like what it's what we are. You know what I mean? Our energy we put, that's our light codes, guys. Like, you know what I mean? That's at least part of it. And so when we all step into that and feel safe to be ourselves, it's like everybody's meant to flourish. Everybody's meant, to vibe high and level up and share that.
Absolutely. I say that myself too. I see that like there is enough like abundance and space on this planet for us to all be as big and great as we want to be,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
Because some of us aren't gonna want to be that big in this lifetime. They're like, no,
Right.
I like living like this and I don't need to do anything big for this.
Yeah.
Like
That's okay.
that's their work,
Yeah.
that's their healing, that's their journey. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But for anybody who like has a big dream, go do
Mhm.
your dream. Go start
Yes, do
it.
it now. Don't
Do it
stop.
now.
Now is go time. This
Yeah.
message, us saying that right now is literally a sign to whoever's listening right now. It's go time. Yesterday, I had this random idea to make this funny video. I don't normally do. It's kind of like making fun of some symbols and stuff that Lady Gaga was wearing at the inauguration and making it look like the mocking Hunger Games. It
Yeah.
was funny, and it was like, it was just like showing this big mockingbird pin she had, and then like showing Effie wearing a mockingbird pin from Hunger Games, and then being like, welcome to 2021, may the odds be in your favor. So I posted to TikTok, and then I immediately tell my friend, oh my gosh, I just left my comfort zone, and I'm thinking I'm going to remove it. Why did I do that? I don't normally put that kind of content out, but I forgot. And later that day, I'm in the tub and I go onto TikTok to delete it. And girl, it's got 60,000 views now, 60,000. And
Yeah,
it
girl.
like went viral. Like, and so I smile because it's a lesson. It's Vishnu teaching me, like, look at you. You stepped out of your comfort zone. This is what I authentically thought it was hilarious. Well, so did 60,000 other people. I was going to remove it. And so, not like, yay, entertain a bunch of people, but also I got this like lesson, Kara, step out of your comfort zone and be yourself. And I know to a lot of people must look like I'm absolutely out of their comfort zone. Like I dance, I'm loud, I say what I want, I'm often smoking weed, whatever. Like I'm just myself. But it also has to do with these thoughts inside of us above the world and how we see things that we felt unsafe to show. But let's do it. Let's step into our authenticity fully. That's my
Yeah, let's wear
intention.
whatever we wanna wear when we're in public. Let's not worry about what anyone's thinking. Let's sing at the top of our lungs if we wanna sing at the top of our lungs, you know?
Yes, the
Let's
top. And
fully
dance
ex
is, yes.
yeah, fully express ourselves in all of the ways. Do the dance.
Yeah.
Do
Like
have
dancing was
the most
considered
fun.
crazy at one point.
Yeah.
I remember learning that and I was like, "What? What?" They thought that you were crazy if you're I mean, what else are we one day going to say people thought was crazy? And now I know things are flashing in my head, but I'm not going to say them. See,
Mhm.
well,
I feel like you gotta say them now.
I don't know.
I
Like, yeah. I don't want to. Spirit's like, no, stay on topic. I'll snap on that. Hey, maybe we'll sum this up anyway. No.
Yeah, I've loved speaking with you. I would love to have you on here again sometime, especially when
Yes,
the book has come out and we can
I would
talk
love
all about
that.
that experience and how this
Yes,
is going.
yes. Well, then you'll read it, you'll be able to read it, and then we'll be able to really, like, discuss it. I can't wait to share my book with my friends, especially because 'cause they're tired of hearing about it. It's been 15 years. Like, "Oh, you've been wri" many people I've said, "Oh, yeah, I'm writing my memoir. I'm writing a book." Like, "Whatever, Kara, you've been saying that for so long, like,
Yeah,
show
we
us the
get it,
book. Show
Kara.
us the book."
No, it's happening. It's gonna be coming out. It's to be determined around the spring of
I'd say
2020.
around April Fool's Day. Yeah,
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 that's
yeah,
that's
trouble's coming, trouble's coming.
so cute. All right. Well, Kara, where can we find you? Where can we find you? We'll put all your links in the episode descriptions, but
I'm Here Comes Trouble XO on Instagram, and then Kara Helen Mosher on Instagram. That's my music account. Here Comes Trouble XO is my author account, and then I'm Kara Helen Mosher on TikTok with the viral videos.
I know that's really exciting. Congratulations on the viral video.
Thanks. Yeah,
I'm
60,000's viral for me.
great. No, that's epic, and it's gonna keep growing from there. Don't take it down. And keep going outside of your comfort zone. What a great message. That is such a great message to end this on. Is like express yourself authentically. Step outside your comfort zone. You have the capacity to heal yourself. And I love your story. I'm so excited to hear more.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on. This has been so much fun. I love talking to you. I love the tone of your voice. It's so healing. You're meant to be heard and seen. So you're doing so much. Thank you.
Oh, I love you. Thank you,
I love
sister.
you too.